How do you feel about the Hambletonian returning to the heat format next year?
I think it's fine and dandy. I think these horses are adaptable. They'll do it, no problem at all. And I think it's good for the business that you can see two horses go, or two heats go the same day. And I don't think it'll affect them at all. I think the best horse will still win.
Not sure it's going to affect me, but if I had one, I'd rather they didn't go back to the heat format. It's just too hot and too hard to racing for the man. Racing that's left afterwards for them horses, and it's just, they go too fast.
I think that's the way it should be. I'm lucky enough to be at DuQuoin when they still raced it there, and first few years and the last few years it's just got to be a very boring race.
I'm not a heat format kind of guy. I like one heat. You know, heats were brought in when the speed was nowhere near where it is today. And, you know, we're asking these horses to go tremendous miles. The trotters now are going in 50 in a piece pretty near every Saturday night at the Meadowlands or here at Mohawk. And, you know, to ask them to go two heats on a 90 or 100 degree day at the Meadowlands it's a tall order. I definitely would not be. I am not in favor of it.
I'm totally dead against it. I've always been dead against heat racing for the animal's sake. And in this day and age, it's way too grueling on the horses with the hot temperatures and the speeds they go nowadays.
You know, I think it's great for the patrons. I'm not so sure it's great for the horses. It's an awful tough day in the heat. I've been through it with a few other ones that have struggled. I know the fans like it, and then the people like it. So I'm a little mixed on that one.
I like the idea. It's a classic race, and it should be kept a classic.
I think that's a good idea. It's better for, it shows the better horse, I think, than coming back like a week later. I think it's a good idea.
You want to know something? I think since the breed has changed, I thought it was a good thing that we went to racing them, a week apart, because it's really hard on the horses, especially the first week of August. But, they've done it for years, I think it's going to be okay.
I like that. I don't think two heats hurt a horse. They were doing it for years. I find they come out the second heat quicker than the first. They may need a week off after that, but I like that format for sure.
It's the same as the little brown jug. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to say they don't like it. A lot of people say they do like it. It's 50-50. People, I like the eliminations and the final. For me, I like the heats. Get it over with in one day. It doesn't give the odd man out a chance to get himself healed up so that he can be a little bit stronger for the next week. They'll go out and race the two heats the same day. I'm for heats.
I've never really liked heats, to be quite honest. Especially the summer we've had here, it's awful hard on horse. But that's the Hamiltonian. They'll do what they'll do, and that's my opinion of it, anyways.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's like going back 20 years. Why do we want to torture horses that way?
I'm a heat fan. Like I love the jug. I love the Confederation Cup. I think it's good for the game. Fans will all come and be a bigger crowd, I believe, and I think it's good for the game. Just hopefully it's not too hot, obviously, that day. But I think it's great.
I like it. I think it's a big event for that day, and I like the heats. I wouldn't want to do it all the time, but I think it's tradition there, and I like it.
And would you race a filly like Check Me Out in the Hambo?
Depending on the year. I see she's not racing, but I'd like to see her this year.
The weeks leading up to the Hambo, the last 3 weeks is when you make up your mind. You see how the competition is rounding off, and you see where your horse is at. When a horse is in tip-top shape the way she is there, yeah, why not?
If I owned her, I probably would, yeah.
I think, from what I've seen, I think she deserves a shot at the Hambo.
Absolutely. I mean, horses like her come along once in a lifetime. You're not going to often see fillies race against colts, especially competitively, and she's got a legitimate shot to beat them.
Probably not. Unless I thought CRK Susie went in the Hambletonian. If I had a filly like her, I'd probably put her in it.
I think if I owned her, I would go for the easy money, $750 for the Oaks. If I owned her, I probably would go there. But if I just trained her and the owners were willing, yeah, for sure, I'd go to the Hambo.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the lineup this year, Check Me Out looks as good as most of the boys. If I own Check Me Out going one heat, I probably would try her in the Hambletonian.
No, I'd keep her in her own element. You know, as far as I'm concerned, that's what I would do.
Where does the Hambo rank among the races you'd like to win? Is it top 5, top 3, or number 1?
Oh, it's definitely number 1.
Probably be top 3. Yeah, it'd be great to win. Little Brown Jug would be my favorite race to win, the North American Cup, and probably the Hambo after that.
Number 1.
I've been so blessed to win so many big races in this industry that that I've always dreamt of. The Hamiltonian is the big one that I'd love to win. I always say that the Gold Cup and Saucer is a big one, and it absolutely is. It's a huge race on my list, but the Hamiltonian is way up there.
I would say probably top 3.
I'd say it's top 5 for sure. It's definitely the most prestigious trotting race we have in North America.
It'd be top 5. Yeah, I want to win the Gold Cup and Saucer because that's where I'm from. So.
Top 5 definitely. But I kind of grown up just watching the North America Cup, so for me that's number 1.
For me, the Hambo probably isn't even on my list. I don't train a whole lot of trotters. I'd love to win it, but I'd need a trotter to do that, and it doesn't look good for me on the Hambo.
I'd like to start it and maybe getting a chance to race in it first. To win it, yeah, I mean top 3 easy. It's something. It's one of the foundation races of our industry throughout North America, and I think to want to be in it, as a driver, you have to want to be in it, and you have to absolutely want to win it. So it's top 3, I'd say.